I am Rashokadabas here with artificial intelligence for the discussion on the topic how to develop effective public speaking skills. My first question to artificial intelligence is what makes a public speakers effective and engaging?
Great question. A really effective public speaker usually connects with their audience by being authentic, using relatable stories, and keeping a good sense of energy. It's all about making that human connection and keeping folks interested.
Why are public speaking skills important in personal and professional life?
Honestly, public speaking skills are super important because they help you express yourself clearly and confidently, whether you're at work, giving a presentation, or just sharing your thoughts in a group of friends. It really boosts your ability to connect with others and make your ideas heard.
Okay, how can confidence be developed for public speaking?
Well, confidence in public speaking definitely grows with practice. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Also, prepping your material well, maybe practicing in front of a mirror or with a friend, can really help build that self assurance over time.
Okay, how can confidence be developed for public speaking?
You know, building confidence for public speaking is all about practice and preparation. The more you do it, the more natural it feels. And of course, starting with smaller groups and gradually working your way up can really help you get comfortable and boost that self assurance.
What kind of practice and preparations? Hello.
Well, you can. Hey there, what's on your mind today?
What role does body language play in effective speaking?
Body language is huge in effective speaking because it really helps reinforce your message. Things like eye contact, gestures, and posture can make you seem more confident and keep your audience engaged. It's like adding a little extra layer of connection beyond just words.
Okay, how can vocal tone, pace, and clarity impact audience engagement?
Absolutely, they really do. So when you speak at a steady pace and you're clear in your words, it helps your audience follow along easily, it keeps them engaged, and makes your message more impactful overall.
Okay, how important is participation and research? Sorry, preparation and research before a speech or presentation.
Well, preparation and research are absolutely key before any speech or presentation. The more you know your stuff, the more confident you feel, and the easier it is to handle any questions or curveballs. Basically, good prep lets you focus on delivering your message smoothly.
Okay, how important is how can storytelling enhance public speaking?
One of the best ways to advance public speaking is to just keep practicing regularly. The more you put yourself out there, the more natural it becomes. And of course, watching skilled speakers, maybe even getting a bit of feedback, can help you hone your own style and just keep improving over time.
Okay, how can speakers manage nervousness or stage fright?
Well, managing nervousness or stage fright often comes down to a couple of handy tricks. Deep breathing really helps just to calm your nerves, and focusing on the message you want to deliver rather than worrying about yourself can shift your mindset. And of course, the more you practice, the more comfortable and less nervous you'll feel over time.
Okay, what are the best techniques for grabbing audience attention at the start?
One of the best ways to grab your audience's attention right at the start is to open with something a little unexpected, maybe a surprising fact, a quick story, or even just a thought provoking question. It kind of jolts them to attention and makes them curious about what you'll say next.
Okay, how can visuals or props support a speech effectively?
Absolutely. Props can be a fantastic way to support a speech because they give your audience something visual to connect with. It just makes your points a bit more memorable and can add some fun or clarity to what you're explaining. So it's definitely a nice little tool in the speaker's toolkit.
How can one adopt their speech for a different audience?
Well, adapting a speech for different audiences is really about knowing who you're talking to. So you might tweak your examples, your language, maybe even your humor to fit what that specific group will relate to or understand best. It's kind of like tuning into their frequency so that your message really resonates.
Okay, how important is audience interaction during public speaking?
Audience interaction is super important because it just makes your speech feel more like a conversation instead of a monologue. It helps keep people engaged and it makes them feel like they're really part of the experience. So, tossing a question out there or just acknowledging the audience and really builds that connection.
Okay, how can practicing in front of mirror or recording improve skills?
Practicing in front of a mirror or recording yourself is really a game changer because it helps you see those little habits you might not notice otherwise. You can tweak your body language, your gestures, your pacing. It's all about just getting comfortable with how you come across and refining your delivery.
Okay, what role does feedback play in improving public speaking?
Honestly, feedback is huge when it comes to improving public speaking. Having someone else point out what you're doing well and where you could improve just helps you grow faster. It's like having a little roadmap for getting better each time you speak.
Okay, how can public speakers handle unexpected questions or interruptions?
Well, the trick there is to stay calm and flexible. If you get an unexpected question or an interruption, just take a breath, acknowledge it with a smile, and if you need, take a moment to gather your thoughts before you respond. It's really all about showing that you can roll with the punches and keep things friendly and composed.
Okay, how can speakers develop a clear and memorable message?
One great way for speakers to develop a clear and memorable message is to really hone in on that core idea they want people to walk away with. It's kind of like having a central theme or a thesis and then building everything else around that so it's easy to remember. Keep it simple, repeat that main point a few times, and you'll have a message that sticks.
Okay, what are common mistakes new speakers make and how can they be avoided?
A pretty common one is just trying to cram in too much information all at once. New speakers sometimes feel like they have to say everything they know, and that can just overwhelm the audience. So the fix is to keep it focused, prioritize the key points, and just remember that less is often more.
How can speakers improve their ability to engage a virtual audience?
One good strategy is just to be a little more animated than you might be in person, because that energy has to come through your screen. It's also helpful to really make use of your camera, look directly into it to create that connection, and encourage interaction by asking questions or using polls so that your virtual audience feels involved.
What techniques help maintain audience interest throughout a long speech?
One effective technique is to break things up into segments and vary your tone, your pacing, even sprinkle a little bit of storytelling or humor to reset the audience's attention. It just keeps them engaged and gives them something new to focus on every few minutes.
Okay, how does emotional connections with the audience enhance the impact of a speech?
When you build that emotional connection, it just makes your message so much more memorable and impactful. People really resonate with stories or examples that feel personal and relatable. And that creates a bond where they're not just listening to your words, but they're also feeling the meaning behind them. It just makes your speech land in a way that facts alone can't.
Okay, how can visualization and mental rehearsal prepare a speaker for success?
Visualization and or hill are kind of like a speaker's secret weapon. When you vividly imagine yourself delivering speech successfully, you're basically programming your brain to feel more confident and prepared when the real moment comes. It's like you've already been there in your mind. So when you actually step up to speak, it feels a whole lot more natural and familiar.
Okay, thank you. Allah Hafiz.
You got it.